Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show. We're here in Sturgis, South Dakota live. We didn't give you a big heads up on this one because we didn't know where we were going to do it at. It's really crazy right now in Sturgis, and we're going to talk about that today. Kind of tell you what we're thinking number wise. We're actually over here at Boss Hoss. We're doing our live from them on their table. So if you're anywhere near us here, we are actually on the corner of Lazelle and the 90. So if you're in Sturgis, you go underneath the 90, you make a right-hand turn on the frontage road, the Chevrolet dealer, come in here. They got a gun fest going on, too. So we got a whole bunch of neat stuff going on. They got a great place over here selling ammo, and it's a great price, and they're shipping free.
How about that?
You don't have
Right
to drag
to your
that stuff
house.
home. So pretty cool. You might want to come over here and check this out. I don't know how many days they're doing that. Boss Hoss is here all week. So you come over here and check out the big boy bikes. They got a super cool one over here. It's called the Dragon. It shoots flames out, all kinds of crazy stuff. It's actually a prototype. Actually, the owner, he actually built it for himself, and now he's got people actually wanting to buy it. So
now he's got to make more.
Yeah. So it takes them about 6 months to build a bike. So they take a lot of time into it. Where a lot of this stuff is assembly line, theirs isn't. So it's kind of cool. One of these days, we're going to get over there to their plant there in Tennessee and film up. So go there and show you what they got going on and stuff like that. One of these days, you got to put that on the list. So let me put this on all of our social media.
I can't even open it, so I don't know.
Put it on all the social media.
It won't start. Anyway, so we're having a good time.
It's 31 on it, so let me close all this
So
out.
we
Go my other way that I go.
We ate lunch at the Iron Horse today with Jeffrey Pope and his friends, Jim and Ted, were there. And the other two, I don't remember their names, but they showed up a little bit too. So we got to see all of them. Janice is on and wrote a big long thing, but I'm not on yet, so I can't see what it says. But we're having a good time. The weather's holding up. It does look a little dark way over there toward maybe Rapid City, that area. But the sun's out here. It's nice. It's beautiful. We did the Flying Pistons breakfast this morning. We got to talk to Gloria. She just turned 100 years old on July 7th, and she's was the Grand Marshal for the parade that they had here in Sturgis. And who else did we see? We've met Buck Shaw. He does the TMMR, the Tennessee Motorcycle and Music Revival, down in Tennessee, and that's the third weekend in May. It's at Loretta Lynn's Ranch. I think it's called Hurricane Mills.
He's actually invited us back, so we'd have to leave Myrtle Beach the last weekend. But David Eastler's on.
Hey, David, you made it home safe. That's cool. And he got us a dinner since we didn't get to meet up with him. He had some friends out here with them too, so they were kind of doing all kinds of things, showing them around. Tony Huffman's on. How are you doing, Tony? And Ron, I don't remember how to say your last name, Belinsky. Anyway. Sorry, I got a cough again. I don't know. He had it, and I got it, and I still got it. So he's better. He's coughing a little, but not near as much as me. Supposed to be going to the Hank Williams Jr. concert tonight, so we'll see after we leave here if we can make it out to Full Throttle, because the traffic is crazy. So Bob will tell you a little bit more about the numbers and what he thinks, how many people's out here, how many bikes are out here. A lot of people. Everybody's having a good time. I heard a lot of sirens and different things like that. Prayerfully, it's nobody, any fatalities. Probably some accidents. That kind of always comes with the program, I guess, when you're at a motorcycle rally. I was going to say show, and I couldn't get the word out. Sorry again. Sharon McFarland's on. Are you going to Alzada Tuesday? No, probably not going to Alzada. And it looks like Dennis Moon's on too. Craig's on. Hey, how are you doing? I can't really see all of the comments because he's got the phone. I can see if this one's on. I probably do need some water, but she said she didn't have any. So we're at the Boss Hoss tent out here in Sturgis. So we don't really have Main Street behind us. We probably was no way we were going to get a table at Loud America. Main Street is crazy, crazy, crazy. So we didn't know where we were going to do it. And so we decided to call Boss Hoss, and they were so gracious enough to let us come out here. And they said they had some internet service. So Jeremy's on 2. Jeremy Hughes and Art's on our Dan's Guard. Jeremy's from Kansas City, it looks like. And we didn't ever get to see Big Ben either. He was supposed to come out and help with the bare knuckle fighting, put up the ring. He was supposed to drive the truck out, and then they changed trucks on him. And then after that, they were going to, he said they might fly him out, or he might come out and help put it up. And I guess he didn't come out because I texted him and I never got a response from him. So I guess he didn't make it out. But we were running into a lot of you guys. We've seen lots and lots and lots. A lot of people just driving down the road when, you know, they're walking and we're riding, or we're both riding next to each other. So seeing a lot of people. So that's always cool. We get to meet up with all you guys.
So what's going on? We've got a great crowd. This is probably the best crowd in probably the last 10 years, not counting the 75th, but the best overall crowd. Is it as good as in the 70s? No. You know, we just were talking about that today. You know, we didn't come out for the 75th, but we were for the 74th and the 72nd and a lot of different ones like that. And what ended up happening, this is when the old Full Throttle was still out there. You know, pretty much if you didn't get out there by about 5 or 6 o'clock, you went going out there to the concerts, either at the Buffalo Chip or the old Full Throttle, it would get to where you would idle all the way out there. That ain't happening right now. But we are getting some backup traffic, like right here, Lazelle Street, actually coming in from Deadwood. It's already backed up to like where Dairy Queen is, and it's backed up all the way down the street. Hitting all the stop signs. Lots of bikes this year. Not seeing as many cars, but it could be because we have so many more bikes, we're overpowering the cars again. So a lot of cars. We did have it yesterday when we came off of either Junction or Lazelle off the 90. It was backing up. They were both about halfway on the ramp, so they weren't totally out on the highway like, you know, the 75th was. But when we came by this morning, I don't know what time it was, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, something like that. There was no backup on either one of the ramps when we came in. We came in, drove past Lazelle. There was no backup at all. You could see the traffic moving, bikes moving down Junction. And then when we got off on, because we wanted to park on Main Street, I figured coming this way, coming from Indian Motorcycle, coming that way where Speeds is at, that it would be more people are probably coming off of Lazelle Street Junction over there at that and Junction side, coming down Main Street versus going the other way. So we ended up finding a parking spot right in front of One Eye Jack's Loud American. And then Jeffrey Pope, one of our subscribers, he was over at the Iron Horse. So we ended up going all the way down the street. So we filmed a bunch of stuff going down. So we got a little bit of Main Street stuff for you guys going both ways to kind of show.
Got to go up in the tower.
Yep, got some shots from the tower. That's actually going to be our ending for the video tomorrow. I got my video. We ended up having, we weren't planning on doing a live at first. That's why it kind of came up here at the last minute. It was mainly because I was trying to get the video done. We had some really great stuff yesterday, got some great footage, and I really wanted to get that up. I'm about halfway through the video, and I still got a bunch of stuff to put on it. We just didn't have time this morning. She already told you we did the breakfast. What I got at the auction, I paid $125 for it, but it's you put on the top of your license plate, it's an original Pappy Hoyle Gypsies license plate. It's just the one you put it on the top. Back then they didn't have the fancy frames that went around it, so they had either you could get one to mount on the bottom of your bottom 2 screws of your plate or on the top. So I got this. I bid on that. It's not that big, but it's gonna be cool. We'll show you guys probably when we get back home. I ended up also getting I can't think of that company that had the shirts there. Biker Nation. I got flannel shirt. She got a fancy shiny jacket. I got a t-shirt. She got a little purse,
a little wallet, and a fanny pack.
Got all that. Or I think I gave them like $45. All this is it's tax deductible. $45 for that. I also got from Drag Specialty. They had some ratcheting straps. We're always looking for those 6-foot ones, and they're hard to find. They always want to sell you 15-footers. Well, we don't need that long. Well, they had some. I only thought I got 2, but I ended up getting 4 of them. Got a battery tender. Also got, when I'm working on my bike, it's one of those magnetic things that go over the gas tank, so when you're not scratching if you're working on the handlebars, stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Always kind of wanted one of those, and never bought one. So I got all that for like $45 or $50. And did I get anything else? Is that it? I think that's all I bought.
Chicorio Flores
And
is
so
on.
that's what's cool about doing this breakfast. The food isn't, they got some breakfast burrito. She had that. They had cinnamon rolls. I ate one of those.
Some fruit.
It's more for the donation to go in there, but we got a picture signed by
Michael Litcher,
which is kind of cool. He was there, got him on camera and stuff. So we got a lot of great video from that this morning. So I don't know when they'll put that in, because that may be a video after the fact, because there was a lot of footage there. We ended up going through the buffalo chip. Not so muddy looking. It looks like it's kind of drying up. I didn't really see, we didn't go through all the back roads and stuff. But I mean, we went down the main road, went back to Bikini Beach, over there on the right where all that mud was last time. George is actually there and says there's a couple little spots you got to watch when and every campground's that way.
Yeah.
Even where we're at.
There's a few places where you turn the corner that there's ruts from people driving in and out and different things. So,
but I mean, it's enough where if you're paying attention, you're not going to hit it.
Yeah.
We were at Pappy Hoyle up on the top. They had a couple soft. We had about 4 inches of rain here in 4 days.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of rain. Not as much as 23, but here it didn't rain all the time. It rained pretty much at night. We had the rain on Thursday that was pretty much all day before the official rally, the last day of July. But other than that, it was.
And I guess Friday night it rained and hailed out here.
Yep.
Lisa and Joe got stuck in that going all the way back out to Deadwood. They didn't have any helmets. They didn't have any rain gear.
She's playing wet T-shirt.
And they had to buy new boots. Their boots got soaked. So anyway, I was going to tell her where she could take them to put it. I'm probably going to really butcher your name, and I'm so sorry ahead of time. Denzelson Amorelzia from Brazil is watching.
Hey, welcome.
So, and then Cooper D.We. says, Bob and Tam, we're almost home. They left this morning. Had a great weekend, but missed seeing you. Darn. Yep, it's hard.
There's a lot, especially when the rally officially starts. If you're in a pre-rally, it's a little easier to track us down. But like here, they're saying, like the jump was we went over to the jump last night, and we got there a couple hours before it was going to start. But we'd already went in the afternoon, and I asked them if they were going to give us anything to get where we get closer, and ended up, Will actually contracted out the jump and all that stuff. So he didn't have any access. You had to go through their department and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's too late. We're not going to cover. So we thought we'll come back and we'll check it out. It was nuts. They even closed the gas station
down so they could have parking. There wasn't enough parking.
And it's like,
people were blocking people in.
I'm not glad that I missed it, but I'm glad I didn't fight with the crowd. Because when I looked at it, a couple people put it on Facebook and stuff. A couple of them put it on our Sturgis page. And it was like 50, 60 people deep. And it's like, it's not worth me to fight it. There's somebody else probably got it on YouTube. So we'll let it go that route. We can't cover everything. So we didn't do that event. We pretty much, you'll see us driving through the parking lot. It was packed. It probably took us 20 or 30 minutes to drive through the parking lot and get back out. It was just a mess. Because they closed off the road coming in from the 34. You couldn't turn in. It's 34.
You had to turn at the light.
Yeah, so you had to turn at the light. So everybody's trying to get out. People trying to go to Glencoe. They're trying to back into spots with their bikes. They don't know how.
Right there at the entrance. And it's like, oh my gosh, it was.
But then we go back afterwards. We listened to a little bit of concert last night at the Full Throttle, but we weren't going to stay. Got late, got tired. We didn't end up not staying for Night Ranger. We did see so far, the only concert we've really seen so far is Jefferson Starship. You can tell them what you think.
It was awesome. That was probably, again, that's going to be up there with my top concerts because there was only one song they sang that I didn't know. And it was great. We got to sit with some of our subscribers that were from Canada, and they invited us to sit with them. And it was awesome. It was, the sound was a lot. They sounded really good, but
there was some little buzzing
and squealing.
But it was very loud.
Yeah.
Luckily it was in the place but we're sitting up on the second deck, so it was probably a little bit more. But I mean, it was nice because we did have a breeze most of the time coming off, and we've seen the rain, we've seen the hail, all that. I'll kind of show you a little bit on the video.
Yeah, we ran back. We had to run back through the rain to catch the bus.
Well, we didn't get so wet. We got a little wet running, with the rain because we were kind of staying under the overhangs of all the businesses. But the worst thing was we had to turn next to the street there. It's at 5th Street, 4th Street. And right next to One Eye Jack's. You had to go up the hill to catch the Kathmandu bus. And it was like a river coming down. It was probably
knee deep.
No, it wasn't that deep. It was probably about 6 to 8 inches deep. Well, once you put your foot in it, it just rolls up your leg. So it didn't look that deep. We stepped in it, and pretty much from the knee down, we were wet by the time we got back.
Yeah.
It was cool enough that night. I could turn the little heater on that we have, electric heater. I put my boots in front and dried my boots right away. So I had no trouble. I'm still got them on today. So they weren't that bad. Mainly, I think the water came through where the shoestrings were at. When I when I stepped
came
in
up and over.
Yeah, because the second shoe I don't think really got wet. So that worked out it worked out all right. So tonight we're hoping, depending on how things go, we need to write him and see what the story is. We thought we were going to get to sit down and eat with the stars, the
Headliners.
bands that were going to be at the Full Throttle. Well, things got changed around. The smokehouse is not doing the food for them. So that kind of, we found that out yesterday. They end up selling that spot. Michael sold that spot to one of the vendors that's already back there. But I'm thinking, they're not going to eat hamburgers or those turkey legs that them people are selling. So whatever, we'll see. I don't know. But they said they were going to talk to Hank Jr. and see if he would meet with us. I doubt if we get any video. I'm hoping just for a picture. That would be worth something. We could post it and say, hey, look what we got to meet. So it'd be really cool. It'd be a great honor. She's probably going to get to meet Pam Tillis. I'm thinking Pam Tillis probably doesn't have contracts anymore with, a lot of times you get with a producer or a marketing company or something like that, and they're pushing you. A lot of these artists when they get older, get more like here, they ended up saying, we didn't stay at the very end of Jefferson Starship. We always like to leave before the crowd. Well, kind of the rain kind of slowed down. We thought, this is a good time to go. They were coming down the last.
Well, I wanted to catch the 10:30 bus. I didn't want to wait all the way till 11:30. Yeah.
So that was the goal. That was really what we were after. But they ended up telling us, we talked to some of the subscribers, they actually came back out and took pictures and signed autographs and all that. Yeah. So a lot of bands, when they get older like that, they would celebrate their 50th. Yeah. And so that was pretty cool.
It was really good. So answer some of these questions.
So they're actually the 51st because they were 69.
Yeah. So Motor in USA's on and in the house. Rick's down on Main Street, he says. He probably thought we were going to do Live America. We couldn't find a table. Copper DW says, thanks for all the great videos, and they helped me so much. And that delicious dinner at Louis from your recommendation. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Art says, you guys hit the thumbs up button. Greg and Gwen's on. My friend Gwen. I know. I don't know why I always get a cough when we get out here. But anyway, that's the way it is. It's his last day heading to Yellowstone in the morning. Okay, Rick, well, you be safe. And I'm glad we got to spend some time with you. Billy Ray's on. How's it down there in Lake Havasu? Anthony says, do not park on the yellow line. It's a $400 ticket and tow fees. Wow. So I thought you could park in yellow.
No, you can't park with it unless there's a sign. Like over at the Harley display where the yellow is there, they've got the barricades that says motorcycle parking only.
On this side.
Then you can park. But if it doesn't say, don't park. Now, just because 20 other bikes parked there, but you have to watch. If your tire, like down on Main Street, if it's just touching the yellow, I don't know if it was a $400 ticket. We'll have to check with the chief. Because normally the tickets aren't that high.
He got one.
And normally they're not that high. So did you get it was it Sturgis or was it the county or the state? I didn't think the Sturgis police was that high on tickets.
Bruce Nelson's on. He says, hey, Pating, wife and I are in Deadwood at the Bell having a couple glasses of wine for now and at the street at Bloody Mary's. Oh, we took the trolley down here. Okay. There you go, Bruce. Motor in USA says, thanks for taking us. Oh, I got it.
Commercial.
I got a commercial. I can't talk now. They can't hear me anyway, I guess.
So hit that skip button. We've had a few people. We talked to George today and a couple other people. Jeff Pope said the same thing, that they're hitting, and when the commercial comes up, it takes them completely out. Is anybody having that trouble? Is the commercials taking you completely
out of
to
YouTube?
Come back in and log back in again?
Because mine don't. I just hit my skip button and it comes right back up.
And we've been doing that ever since we've been doing this. So we've never had that problem. We're usually monitoring. If we're usually we've been using the Verizon phone. And so usually we're using our personal phones and we're watching it on our personal. Usually I go through one of the Facebook pages to make sure it's still coming out, because we're looking, because in case there's technical trouble, it looks like we're still talking.
Yeah, we can't see that, but on here it'll be buffering, or it'll be whatever. So we do look at it. So Billy Ray says 108 in Havasu. Motor in USA says, thanks for taking us to Sturgis, those of us that could not make it. Well, you're welcome, Motor in USA. Truth be told, 95. A lot of clubs out that way yet. We've seen a few.
Yeah, not too many riding around. The HH just got their booth here. I didn't see the Sons of Silence. I didn't see them having a booth.
They weren't in front of. They were in front of Louis.
Yeah. So I don't know if they did not have a booth this year. I don't know. If somebody comes on, let us know if they've seen one. I mean, they've got 100 more vendors this year in the city limits of Sturgis than what they had last year. The sad news is it's more T-shirts and more tattoo artists have gotten licensed. So somebody that's working in a studio gets a license for themselves. That adds. So they may not, but there is a lot more tents. It's like here, I don't know how many tents are here for this gun fest.
Yeah.
But they had to get a Sturgis license to do it because they're in the rally
city
scene.
limits.
They're in the rally zone. There's a rally zone to where, like up Junction, they've always told us people could rent there, but you can't. And because it stopped right there at the Harley dealer store. That's where
on the other side of Sherman is not considered the rally area.
Yeah. So like the ones
footprints.
The ones that are still there are people that were there, they were grandfathered in. If they skip a year, they're gone.
You're out of here.
And that spot was gone, like Heavy Ed, which is at Midwest Cycles. He's been there for 30 years and comes back every year. And so if he'd miss a year, even if he paid, he said he would lose it.
Hey, G. Ratham, I didn't think you were coming out. He says, I just saw you kids. You guys got stuck in traffic. Hey, kids, I just seen you guys stuck in traffic. It wasn't as bad when we first came in this morning. It was tons of people. It was probably lined all the way back up to Speeds trying to get up to the 90 this morning.
Yeah.
So,
It was on the other side of the road.
Anyway, if you're here, reach out to us.
So we're at the Boss Hoss truck,
That's right.
and we're right
Really
here
right.
at the Chevrolet dealer. Liberty Chevrolet is what it's called. And if you're in town, you just stay on Lazelle, go underneath the highway, the 90, and then not the first road, that's the ramp going the wrong way. Second road, there's an arrow there because that's where the test rides go. Turn right there, and as soon as you see all the tents there, turn right in here, and then you come back here by the dealership part where the cars, trucks are, and you can park back here by us.
You'll see the big red Boss Hoss truck, so you can't miss it.
Yeah. And then our bike's parked on the other side. Or you can park up front and then walk over here. We're not that far. You'll see us when you pull in.
Yeah.
So if you're in the area, stop by. You can say hi. And
yes, on commercials, it just happened. But did it kick you all the way out, Motor in USA? Or did you just hit the skip button? So I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. Howdy from Mimosa, Iowa. That's where JP Cycles Museum was at once upon a time. Truth be told, 95. How long is Sturgis? The city or the dates?
I'm assuming the dates. 10th when it's over Sunday.
Well, we were talking about this rally area.
I have no idea how big it is. The city had 7,000 people in it, but they really only about 2,500 actually live here.
If you told me about our hometown, I know it was a lot longer than it was wider.
This is probably, I don't know, 5 miles long maybe from, because if you kind of figure it out, the city limits here, like heading to Deadwood, is probably about a quarter of a mile down the road is where the sign is there. And then I think the city limits is bigger because the police patrol out all the way out there but the city sign is actually right there by the lake.
Oh yeah, it is. That's true.
So I don't really know unless I don't know.
Well,
we never asked that question.
There's the city limits and then they incorporate. So I think the city limits are certain because our address in the chip is Sturgis, South Dakota, but we don't live in the city limits.
Police don't service the Buffalo chip area. They don't go out that far. They pretty much stop there at the 79 when you turn because they don't go out to the Buffalo chip either. Because that's what a lot of people say. There's a lot of cops out there. Actually, we haven't seen that many. We're going out to Full Throttle a lot, and some days we drive. We don't see a cop on that road at all. Sometimes we see him pull somebody over, one car. It's not like it's been in the past. Before, there's been the county, the state, and the city's been right there in that little stretch.
Going out to Full Throttle.
Yeah, going out to
from the 30.
Well, just going to the going to the Thunderdome.
Oh, okay.
Because right there's that light. I think is where the city stops. That light.
I don't know.
Because I think that we'll have to ask if Steel Pony if it's in the city limits. I'm not sure.
Well, we could ask Will too from the Thunderdome. Vic Everett says hello from Niceville, Florida. That sounds like a cool town, Niceville. Motor in USA said it kicked him out when he hit skip. I don't know why it's doing that. That's not us.
So are you on YouTube or are you watching it through Facebook? And are you signed in? So if it's all yeses, then we're trying to figure this out because we got it on our phones and we're watching it. We don't have any of that trouble. And YouTube says, but see, you can't talk on the way at YouTube.
Yeah.
And I've talked to other YouTubers and I have found nobody that told me how to get rid of the commercials. Because it used to always be the commercials were after you watched it the first time. And I'm always fine with that. Then YouTube said, "Oh, we're going to start putting commercials in to give you more money for them to make more money too."
For them, not so much
we make
for us.
pennies compared to their dollars.
So, truth be told, said it adds up. It comes up. Just simply hit the skip button. Yeah, but that's what we do, and it doesn't do it to us. But this is like the fourth or fifth subscriber. Even Neil says that
because
too.
I think if you would hit it, and let's say you miss the skip button and you hit the commercial, it may take you to that commercial because you liked it. So they're going to show you the rest of it. So that would be the question too. Are they taking you out to what the commercial is? So if they're showing you Boss Hoss commercial and you hit it to skip it, but it takes you to that commercial, then that's the problem. You didn't hit the button all the way.
That's what he says. You can't skip it until several seconds,
right.
Which is true. And he says he is watching it on YouTube.
Okay. But is it giving you that commercial?
That's he. I guess that's what he does. He has to watch it until it gets skipped. He hits skip, and then it just kicks him out.
But what's it taking him to? Is it just a blank screen? It takes you back like you're watching your phone. Does it take it back to your emojis or not emojis, but your apps and all that? Or is it taking you to another page, which could be like a commercial page or just your home page for your YouTube? Because like I said, we're trying to figure this out. That's why I'm asking all these questions.
We're going to see if we can at least write an email or something to help you guys. Paul Street says his wife has fibro. Tam, does your fibro ever mess with riding? Yes, it does.
It does right now because of all the rain we've had.
And we enjoy your guys' videos. Stay safe out there. When we did that wrong ride out to the Badlands, that next day I was really sore. So, well, wait a minute. If you can hear it. Can you hear it? Can you hear me talking over that? Can you hear me talking over that? No? Can't hear it.
You're cutting it now.
Oh, now I turned it off. We were going to show you what all the noise was coming from, but that was one of the boss bosses running out there. So Devin was showing off his bike.
Yep.
To some people.
Somebody's interested in maybe buying one. Or they just wanted to hear the roar power. The big V8s.
TJ Dixon said he skipped the commercial and went right back to the live. So yeah, I don't know why it's doing that to some of you guys. I don't know.
That's why we're just trying to figure that out so we can see if we can get that fixed.
So Dennis Moons has been watching since the beginning today and haven't seen any ads.
Now, if you subscribe to YouTube TV, you would get any commercials anytime.
Yeah. XM Bikers on, how you doing? Brian Art says I pay for YouTube Premium and I don't get any commercials.
Correct.
Steven retracted his message. Altro Campbell says, hi everyone, motorcycle love. That's true. Back to my YouTube page, strange. It takes him back to his YouTube page. I guess that's
that is weird.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I don't have any. I am a small channel, but now growing to try to learn all this. Okay, there you go. So everybody can check out Motoring USA. How about that? He's just starting out. Wolfman Alpha, what funny is that I don't have YouTube Premium or anything like that. I don't get any commercials on this channel. I am subbed, though. I don't know.
Because he's commenting, so I don't know. You got lucky.
Yeah. Shh, don't say nothing. A troll says, nice bike. Yep. You probably got to see it for a minute, I guess. How are the crowds compared to last year?
A lot more. We're seeing, like today we were just on Main Street, and it really wasn't. Now yesterday was, but they had the parade yesterday, Friday. They had the parade, and it was very crowded on Main Street. It was pretty much wall-to-wall people. But I mean, a lot of them could have been there for the parade, which the parade was kind of sad. It's like 10 motorcycles and the hitch team from Budweiser, and that's it. It's the first time we ever seen it, and because you could see the full hitch team either at the Full Throttle or at the Buffalo Chip. So those are 2 places they bring the full team out. And then during the weekend, they bring out just one horse and take it around to the bars and stuff. So there was a lot of people. Now, today when we walked down, we didn't count them. Yesterday, we went in the Harley tent, and she counted. It was like 266
266
that she had for a count of
we were in
people
there about
the
30 minutes, between 1 and 1:30.
And it wasn't packed, but I mean, there was 266 people. Didn't look that many. But so Main Street today, I kind of put the camera so I could see the people. So I can count it that way. I forgot my clicker. We got some clickers. We're going to start keeping track.
They're in the bike.
So my realistic here. So for instance, Daytona this year, I said there was about, my opinion, is about 30 to 40,000 people showed up. That's my indication. Now, the problem you have with a lot of these rallies is you don't really know, are they motorcycle people? Are they tourists, the locals, or whatever, like at Daytona? I'm counting people that I see on motorcycles. So right now, what I'm thinking right now for the rally, we're probably having attendance of about 50 to 75,000. You know, people come up with, which, you know, if you've been watching my channel, you know this all the time. There's 860,000 people living here in this town, in this state, and probably the average is 4 people per house. So you look, even realistically, we probably don't even have 500,000 houses in the whole state of South Dakota. Where would 500,000 people be staying at? You know, there is not that many. And I just did that instance the other day in Las Vegas. They've got about 178,000 rooms. So on a good day, if they were completely sold out, which probably never have been, you know, they might have 400,000 people in that town on any given weekend. So you're telling me that this rally has more people than Las Vegas has on any of the busiest days they have. I don't buy any of that. I think the numbers have always been fabricated. Normally, when we used to come to the rally, I bought that. I bought that there was 500,000 people, 500 to 800,000, a million people, whatever. I bought all that. Well, now since we're now on the outside and we're looking in the window, we're not partying. We work all the time. We see the people. We see the bikes that are here, things like that. Probably right now in town, counting the dealership, every place, I'll bet you there's not even 10,000 people here at the moment in this whole area right here. Not counting
Downtown.
the Black Hills and all that. I'm just saying
downtown.
That there's no way, because where would they be? You know, you start looking just like there was 266 in the tent, but that was a busy day when we counted yesterday. Today's Sunday. There's people that's already leaving. So I don't buy the numbers that the city and all these people do. They count. It's like right now they're over.
Turn the camera around.
Would never made it. So I don't buy any of these numbers that they have. International speed. Well, one. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Over at Midway, that runs along the back end of the Buffalo Chip, where you can cut through and come out at kickstands. There's some rubber bands there. We've ran over them at least a dozen times now, just in the last 2 days.
Yep.
So then they counted us 12 times. Plus, I don't know if they're counting 2. I don't know what they're counting. I don't know what their average is.
Yeah, so 2 of us on a bike, one bike. So I don't know.
So that's 12 times. So if they say, well, we're only counting per day. Well, once again, 6 days, 6 times one day, 6 days the next day. So, you know, and there's probably people doing more than we are. We do see the rubber bands in different places that they have out here. That's the county keeping track. They also now have the highway out here. Highway 90 is now within the city limits of Sturgis. On a bad day, you can look this up, 36,000 cars drive down this highway. I couldn't even imagine what it is today. If it was, you know, maybe it's 40, 50, 60,000 people drive down the highway. How many times motorcycles pass down here and they're counting on the rubber bands? So if you're counting that too, then that's a big thing. But I would say half the people that are driving down this highway is not coming through Sturgis. And if you're driving a semi, how many of those, you know, how are they calculating the rubber bands? You know, for a motorcycle, it's 2 clicks. A car, it's 2 clicks. A semi would be 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks it would have. So are they considering that a car? Is there a way? Which I don't think they can understand. Because I remember the years I used to have it when we used to live, when I was a kid, it was a box on the road, and each time it ran, it brought the number around. So there was no way to know how many semis versus how many
cars,
bicycles drove on the road. whatever would click a click, it would count. So a bicycle, they would say was a motor vehicle too. So I don't know if they take that number. So if they, let's say we got 100,000 went over the rubber band. Well, if it was cars, it would only be 50,000. If it was semis, it could only be 25,000 maybe. But so, I don't know all the logistics. Pinging phones, I don't buy any of that.
So TJ did. Boss and their V8 engines.
I can't hear you. So some of their bikes that are getting, sometimes there was a guy here the other day, bought a bike last year, and he had a little trouble with his air shocks not working. It was all computerized. So they had to pull it in, lift up the back end of it, the trunk, and put the computer in there, and they had to reset something to fix it for the guy. So they do some miscellaneous repairs here, not anything really too big, but this is like all the other motorcycles out here. Everything's computerized now. So they do, and they're not here really to do repairs, but they will tweak things if it's something minor that they can do here, because they got their engineers and stuff are here too.
So Motor in USA, you're welcome for the shout out. TJ Dixon wanted to know if we had the pleasure of seeing the gentleman driving with his chaps with a thong on. Yes, I did see that the other day.
Is that the one with the green ones?
No.
Oh, there's another guy?
Yes, he didn't have just... James.
I've seen the video, huh?
So no, this guy just had black chaps, and then he had like a leopard print little G-string on. So yes, I did happen to see that the other day. Billy Ray, how was the meet and greet? It was really good.
Probably the largest crowd we ever had.
Yeah,
we didn't count, but I mean, it was probably 30 or 40 people.
Yeah.
Could have been more. I don't know. We should have counted. Everybody was subscribers except for two. Because there was another guy already. So we end up having probably could be a half the campground at Kathmandu are our subscribers.
A lot of them.
Every time we walk around, people saying hi and stuff. So this has been the biggest rally we've been to get the most notoriety of people knowing us. We've got people driving down the road, they're yelling at us. Somebody yelled at us a while ago when we were coming here, and I'm like, I didn't even see the bike. All I could hear was Bob, and it was gone. And so yeah, it's very.
So not yet, Stephen. Stephen wanted to know if we got our full throttle passes last night. Yeah. So I guess it was somebody that you were talking to last night.
Oh. Take your microphone off.
All right.
That phone call, and she's going to answer it. So it's pretty, but it's very busy. Traffic is a little, when we come down the going out the full throttle, it's not too bad once you make the turn. But I mean, you pass a lot of bikes. Probably 50 bikes we probably see each way when you go. Parking lot, you'll see that on the video, is pretty full. You can still find a place. They're already using the rocks that they put in. Cars have to park out back. Last night, we only seen probably about 10 cars parked back in the grass. So it's not as much as I thought it would be. But the concert wasn't that crowded last night. The general admission, where all the tables and stuff are at, that's pretty full. VIP had a good handful of people in there, and then the rest of it had a good crowd too. But I mean, it wasn't even half full. But I mean, those were the two opening bands. I didn't know either one. Like I say, it was already getting late. We were getting tired, and she's like,
and I had this cough, and I wasn't feeling 100%.
Somebody kept smoking pot around me too.
Yes, it stunk. I don't like this. Somebody else said, "Oh, I love the smell of pot. We don't do it anymore, but I just love it when somebody." And I'm like, I can't stand it. It stinks to me.
Me, it's perfect.
I don't know. But anyway, so yes, we did
been thinking about doing this the whole show.
Oh.
We got a wild horse.
Did you see what it says?
What's off? What's off? We got to see the monkey here. Was actually here yesterday. So we got some good shots of that yesterday. You guys probably already seen the snake. Guys, there's actually a law here in the city limits that you cannot bring an exotic animal. So far, I don't think any of them's got. Normally, they just tell you. like the guy's got the bison slash
Buffalo, baby
Buffalo. Last year they said they told him several times. He said he was only told once, and that was it. So I don't know. But I mean, they just tell you, But I mean,
Move on.
it is a big attraction. But I guess what they're afraid of is, a lot of people bring these animals. Do you know if they've had their shots? Do you know anything about them? If you get bit, you're not going to probably have a reaction right this minute. It might be tonight or tomorrow, and they might be gone. And now you're in trouble. You might have to get rabies shots and all this other crazy stuff. So, that's probably what the city's more concerned about is because it was this guy with the burro was going to try to be on down here on Main Street at the end down by the Vets Club. And somebody else said that too. He's probably going to have to show all the records, shots, and everything that this thing's had. I don't know if he's had any at all. We didn't ask him that question. But he's out.
Buffalo?
Yeah, but he's out at the Buffalo chip now inside the amphitheater. So you have to have. They did say he brought it up to Bartlett yesterday.
Oh, did he?
That's what somebody else when I was talking to him. So, but right now he's right on the. When you walk in, it's all the way to the left before you get to the trailers and the fence. That long trailer there, that's his. So if you knock on the door there, he'll come out and bring. He changed the name. What's he calling it? Freedom is what. This was born on the 4th of July, so it's like 30 days old.
It's a girl, so he eventually was going to call it Julie because it was born 4th of July. So July. And then he said, well, since it was born 4th of July, he says, I think Freedom has a better ring to it. So
here.
Oh.
Coming its way.
So let me get some of these others. Anthony said it was the officer on the scene that let everybody know that was around on YouTube. If you park on the yellow line, it's a $400 ticket. Rifle Reaper says the 75th was different. It was the biggest by far. Yes.
Which I'm not going to disagree with that. I don't know how many people were there, but yes, definitely big.
We were here the 74th, and this isn't as big as the 74th when we were here on the 74th. So there's a lot of people. It is crowded, but yeah, nothing like those numbers.
Seems to me more people are riding this year than they are visiting places. Now, the Full Throttle is the busiest place. We've never probably spent that much time at the Full Throttle. That the new one is what we are doing now because they're giving us more. We gave you all those. We were able to get in the construction area where no other YouTuber could get there. They had to stand in the back of the fence. So we've been able to do stuff that nobody else has ever been able to do. So that's why we kind of been out there because, hey, if we're going to be able to show you something nobody else has, then we kind of think that's kind of an exclusive that we get that nobody else has. Kind of last year we had Richard Rollins from the Gas Monkey. He was really good. And a lot of people, watching all the work he was doing on it and all that. And we had a lot of views. That will probably be, unless something drastically changes, that's been our best year we've ever had for viewership. And this year we're getting the best compliments. Everybody's saying how great our videos are and all that. But the views aren't the greatest in the world. Heck, Amzo Adam put a video out yesterday. He had 21,000, and we're not even half that. And I don't get it. I don't understand. We do what we do, and that's what we do.
Yeah, that's all we can do. We can do our best,
and then we leave it at that. And
so Greg Miller says, Bob and Tam, thanks for sharing. Hope to make it out next year. Truth Be Told says, how many days is Sturgis? 10 days. Starts. The official date is August 1st through the 10th.
Next year will be the 7th through the 17th, I guess.
Yep.
It's late next year. I don't know how that's going to work.
I don't know.
So many schools start, so it ends up working because it goes by whatever the first weekend is.
The first full weekend.
Yeah.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So this year the first isn't until Sunday, so we can't. They won't start it till the 7th, which is silly, but that's the way they do it. Shelly says, howdy, ma'am, and Pating. Bill Dumich says, Pating. Billy Ray's got a thumbs up. Birdie Lady 44 says, someone brought a giant snake. Yeah. It was like a python. I think it was like this big around, and I don't know, probably at least 5 or 6 foot.
We watched the video a couple days ago. It's in the video. It was on Main Street. And then last night, where were we at last night? We see it.
Oh,
was it at the concert?
It was at the concert because I couldn't see it. And you said right there. And what he would do is he had it around his neck, and a lady would stand in front of him, and he just put the snake around her. I think bike sales are going to be down. I don't know.
Actually, doing really good. I didn't get a count, but the
Sturgis one.
Yeah, the Sturgis one. I think they're a little over 100. And I think they're $300 or $400 already out of Black Hills Harley. You got to get out there to get your bike fixed. Get your phone charger fixed.
Oh,
So somewhere along the lines, somebody hasn't even rode her bike yet.
I haven't. Not once.
Hadn't even sat on it.
No.
I got it out of the trailer.
Well, I was gonna ride that one day and it wouldn't start. It was battery was dead. So anyway, I think bike salesman. Okay, we did that one. How bad was the hail?
Not bad. It was small. I didn't look at my truck, but it was.
It was probably pea-sized hail, but that's the worst to drive in and when you ride on your bike.
It hurts.
Yes.
So
like
not
somebody
enough,
throwing darts.
not enough to do any damage. My bike never got any dents in or anything, so it was okay. But in the area, you never know because out here they've had golf or grapefruit-sized hail before. Not in Sturgis, but out in Bellevue. They said on the other side of Rapid, they had some the other day. It was like softball size. So you never know where that big one's going to be at.
We talked to a few people. I guess I was talking to Angie Badger, and they were at the Buffalo Chip Friday night because they were waiting for the ZZ Top concert. And she said it rained, but she said they never got any hail out there. And I said, oh, I didn't know it hailed in because the I don't know what the lady's name is on Jefferson Starship, but she was like, wow, because it had been raining almost through her whole concert. And all of a sudden, when it started hailing, you could really hear it. And so she said, wow, what is it? Is it raining? And everybody was like, hail. And she's like, what? And we're like, hail. And she's like, what? And she's like, that's hail? And it's like, yes, it hails out here, which is crazy. But anyway, it wasn't too bad. It was at least it was small hail.
That's the second time we've been around the hail since we've been here the whole 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Monday will be 8 weeks we've been here.
Cooper Dewey says that they spoke with the Rapid City Harley this morning and they sold Rapid City Harley?
Well, that's
102 bikes. No, because the other day when we were out there, it was over 200.
Right, Mike, and asking what the current number is.
We saw hail on the sides of the road in Spearfish yesterday morning. Wow.
And we've seen that too. When we were out, we took the back road when we first got here and did Custer State Park. I thought it would snow. That was in a couple little ditches. But then after I forgot that it hailed a week or so ago, and it came down like snow. It packed everything. So it was in some of the curves where it was probably in shade all the time. And you could see it on some of the videos back then, but I didn't really point it out because we didn't stop and look at it. But she's going to try to get the numbers for what's going on at the dealerships. Because you have to walk all the way down and back sometimes to get that total numbers. Now, Sturgis they're keeping numbers, but they're not posting them like they do out at Black Hills Harley.
Yeah. Tim says he doesn't like to do that or doesn't want to do it. I don't know which, but I thought they would just because the other one did. So anyway, I'm trying to write Mike. So
we've talked about this product before.
You're welcome,
Peter.
Peter.
It's actually on the video that we did a while, or the video I got coming up tomorrow. It'll be on there. This is Boss Hoss's cleaner / ceramic cleaner. And one of the questions that people were asking about this, we've talked about, I've been using it at home. And I've been really, really pleased with the shine that's on it. And some people said that on it too. Is it really that shiny? The video looks really good. And it's like, yeah, it is. So we asked him yesterday, which will be on tomorrow's video, will this build up like regular ceramic does? If you keep coating ceramic on it, will it build up? Because people like Dan Kite, some of these guys that do paint pinstriping and stuff on bikes, it could run into a problem because you're painting the ceramic, not painting the paint. And he said no, because it's got a cleaner in it. It actually removes it each time you use it. So he'll explain on the video tomorrow. But I mean, this is some really cool stuff. They're actually getting ready here. Boss Hoss is really getting ready to have a complete assortment of cleaning products that are for motorcycles that, you can put them on your, put it on your windshield, you can put it on your chrome and your plastic, all that kind of stuff. And it's a pretty good price. And I know some of you have bought it and said you really liked it too. But this one's called the Ultimate Ceramic Cleaner, a gloss quick detailer. So it's like here, I showed yesterday, he was cleaning a bike. But I mean, these bikes he's got, that's all he's using. And they shine like tomorrow. Even the ones out front, one bike he rode the other day with us on the ride to get chicken, And she said, Tam said, is that the same bike you were riding? And she's like, yeah, wow, it really looks good. Well, he was cleaning it in the video that we're doing. Tomorrow you get to see. But just want to talk about the product. It's really good. He's going to put more. Right now, you got to go to the Boss Hoss site and look up the cleaner to find it, to be able to order it. But they even got the little pocket ones.
You can keep in your bike.
Yeah. So you can take them along on your trip and you have it. But I mean, it goes pretty far away. But a couple people were asking that question if it built up, and it does not.
Peter said, thanks for your videos. You're welcome, Peter. Anton Bolton said, good day from South Africa. Oh, wow. How's the weather down there? That's pretty cool. Ryder X is on. Says, hello, everyone. I just had a couple of minutes and wanted to pop in and say hello. Hey, we're missing you. It's a cooler rally, but it is a little bit wetter than normal. So, but wish you were here. Whoop says, heading over to UK this week for our first Sturgis. What one piece of advice would you offer to get the best out of the festival? Heading over from UK this week for our first Sturgis. What one bit of advice would you offer to get the best out of the festival? If you're not coming until next week, you missed it.
Because it's over next Sunday. So, I don't know if you're thinking, yeah. There's too much to do. There's no one thing to tell you to experience that, because you got the Black Hills. If you just look at the Sturgis rally itself, is right down Main Street. That's probably in town here, that would probably be the one, which we did today. First time since the rally started that we actually rode the whole length.
Yeah.
It was really slow because the traffic was backed up. It wasn't bad till we got to Main Street to
Main and Junction.
It was backed up about almost the whole block.
And the only reason that is because people crossing the street. And I'd said this before. They need to build bridges.
Well,
and I know it costs a lot of money.
They would do it.
Crossways.
If the cops would actually do that, they're standing there anyway.
Yeah.
If they would do where you let them walk through, after so many bikes go, let them go then, because you're letting the other people go the other direction. And then, but limit it. So by the time those cars have gotten done, there's 5 or 6 people got to cross the street. Because it ends up being, once they start, they just keep going. And then you can't get it all across.
Yeah, so it's not only 5 people, it's like 50 people.
And they're not considerate. They're not.
I always try to run, because I know that intersection is nuts. And then Lazelle and Junction, and then this was Main and Junction. Those are the 2 busiest people crosswalking. It's just tons of people.
So we actually went the other way. So we were already parked down, and we were going towards Junction from the Indian dealer. So we were on that stretch to where going the other way, it's not quite as bad. If you just keep on going and head towards the Indian dealer, our turn, there's a light before the Indian dealer. You can make a right off of Main and get up and catch the light and make a left or a right if you need to. But that's probably the one thing I would say. After that, it's all the rides that's around here. But so people always ask, should I come before the rally or after the rally? Well, here's my real honest answer. If you're not interested in vendors, I would come 2 weeks before opening day. 2 weeks. That way you can do, the traffic's not so bad out here. Stay away from the 4th of July. That's what I'm saying. Usually I would say either right after the 4th of July, you could come the week or so after that. Come for that week. Because then you get all the riding, just like we do. Even in June, I wouldn't come out the first week. I'd probably come out at least the 2nd or 3rd week of June.
Because the weather's still kind of iffy then.
And do all your riding. Because that's what makes this rally more than anything else is such great riding. Tons of it. And then, those are the 4 things. It's got the best riding. It's got the best vendors here. So many of these dealerships and people on the internet do the same thing. They recommend one muffler to you. Here, you can talk to the manufacturers. Vance and Hines here, Cobra's here. All the factories here, they got all the pipes on demo bikes. You can hear what it sounds like. You can talk to them and say, here's my kind of riding. What mufflers would you, slip-ons would you recommend? Then you can listen to them and pick what you want. Or if you go to the dealer or you're listening to somebody on YouTube and says, oh, this is the only muffler I'd ever put on my bike. Well, one, they're lying to you because the only reason you're doing it is because they're selling the pipes to you. They're getting a cut off of what they're selling. But what you got to know is, you want performance? Do you want sound? Or you want, what do you really want out of it? You want looks? And that depends on every rider's different. It's like getting a cam put in your bike. Not one cam fits every situation. It depends on how you ride your bike, what you want. And that's the same reason why we always recommend speeds, because they've done so many of them, and so many people put the wrong cam in, and 6 months to a year, they're like, the bike runs like crap. And they're like, well, what cam did you put in? Why'd you put that one in there? What kind of riding do you do? Oh, I do city ride, a little bit of highway. Well, why would you put this erotic cam in your bike? So those are things but here you get to talk to those vendors. What else makes it great is the people that live here, the people that come to the rally. It's very easy to be by yourself. I met a guy just yesterday or today, a guy we were talking to, but he's not here today. He came by himself, and he's already found guys to go riding with him. And so that's really good. The other thing is, every one of these towns around here, even 3 states around us, counting South Dakota, welcome bikers. They give you designated parking. Sometimes they close roads down that we can park on. No other rally caters to this. You could say, well, Daytona closes the street off. Well, it's not the same thing, because it's like Main Street here. Half these businesses aren't even there the rest of the year. I'm talking about, you go over to Deadwood, you go to Hill City, Heckwood, what's the one right up here? Whitewood. They even block their street off, which I was actually shocked the other day when we went on the police ride. I was like, holy crap, I didn't know they blocked the street off up there. And bikes only. And so there's so much of that you see. And then all the businesses, I've never seen a business here close because of the rally. Now, on Main Street here, there is some places that close because the landlord makes them put a vendor in there during the rally.
So you have to get out for 2 weeks.
And the reason they do that, and they do the same thing for people that rent apartments and stuff here, houses, because the choice is, you could move out for 30 days and they'll only charge you $600 to $800 a month. And if you want to stay in that house year round, it's $1,200 a month. So you make the choice. If you want your privacy, $1,200 a month. If you don't, you might want to save money and pay $600 to $900 a month
And get out for a month.
Yep.
That's for 11 months.
For furniture or everything else. But I mean, they take care of everything, and they pay for anything that gets broken, of course, or anything like that. So they're making big money. We found out one house out there in Deadwood. Because in Deadwood now, you can't get an Airbnb less than 30 days now.
You have to book at least 30-day minimum.
And so one person we know, the price on the house was $30,000.
To rent it for 30 days.
It's a big house. $1,000 a day. That's just crazy to pay that kind of money. But I mean, if you had a bunch of people going, I guess, and if it's a really cool house, we didn't go see it. We seen pictures of the outside.
You didn't hear what I stay at, man.
Where do you stay?
When you exit down, I pay $75 a person a night.
Wow.
And there's 2 of us in the cabin by ourselves.
Wow,
Hey,
that's
you
awesome.
got a good deal.
She doesn't rip us off one bit.
How many cabins
Is
does
it
she have?
Whitewood?
One.
Oh,
So we won't give out your secret.
I won't tell people where it's at.
there you go.
So the gentleman just stepped up and he found a person right down the road here that only had one cabin. They rented out for $70 a night. Doesn't matter
Per
how many
person.
people. Yeah, is it per person?
Yeah,
Or-
right, per person.
Okay, so it's $150 for you and your buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's still cheap.
Well, sometimes we'll have 5 or 6 people there. But
Cool.
if
I guess.
come by myself, then it's still only
Yeah.
$75.
Wow,
deal.
that's awesome.
Can't find that anywhere else.
I told her, I said, if you can rent it for more, get it. Oh, no, we love you coming.
Oh, that's
Well, some
good.
people like that because it's the same people. They know you're going to take care of it.
Yeah.
To where you get somebody new in there and they trash the place, and
Yeah, I just had to take them on me a script just so I could get my bike in without going through the weeds.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I was getting
So,
tired of getting all the weeds
yeah.
on my bike,
So
I
the-
got their mower and went and mowed it.
So there's Terry, Penn State 100 says, where do all the bartenders stay? They usually rent a house.
some
And that's where they
some
stay.
get tents and they stay like maybe if they're at
Buffalo Chip.
Buffalo Chip, or maybe they're over there at Full Throttle, or depending on where they might be bartending at, they might go ahead and get a pass. Because if you know you're going to work there, that's what I tell people. If you're thinking about coming to Sturgis next year, go ahead and buy your passes. If you're looking at the Full Throttle, if you want to see concerts, go ahead and buy your Full Throttle one, and go ahead and buy your Buffalo Chip one as soon as possible. Because even though next year is not the anniversary, it is the 250th birthday for the United States, and it's also the 40th anniversary for the Buffalo Chip. So next year, I'm betting money Kid Rock will be there next year.
45th.
Yeah, 45th, what'd I say?
40th.
45th for Woody at the Chip. And he told us the other day when we talked about his birthday, he said, no, I'm more interested in celebrating the 250th America. Well, who's more red, white, and blue than Kid Rock?
Yeah.
So I'm saying definitely Kid Rock will be playing. And I'm probably willing to bet money we're going to see Jelly Roll back again, too. So I think next year at the Buffalo Chip, we're going to see some better names than they had this year. Just the FYI. We don't have any insight, but maybe we'll get some before the rally's over. Maybe we'll sit down with Woody and see it. A lot of times when I tell him stuff, he doesn't say no. If he doesn't say no, then that means yes. So I've learned how to talk his language. And
so Anton Bolton said Africa is great and he enjoys our content. Writer X said hi to XM Biker. Whoop said they arrived Tuesday. So I'm assuming Tuesday the 5th because they said next week. So that's the one that's coming over from. Can you not feel that?
No, I don't know. Oh, it's a fan?
Yeah.
I didn't know what that thing was.
So it's so I'm assuming they're getting here the Tuesday the 5th. So they'll be here the 5th through at least the 10th. So what should they do to get the most out of the Sturgis Rally those few days?
So are you renting a bike?
Or are you bringing your bike over?
Well, I doubt that. You'd already have to be here. Come all the way from overseas. On a slow boat from
I
China.
don't know.
So we need to know if you're looking to do some riding, then I would be more. So if I got here that late, I would be looking to maybe do riding. What did they say, the 5th?
Tuesday they're coming in.
I'd be looking maybe on Thursday and Friday. I would maybe do some of my rides like Iron Mountain. If you're a good rider, if you're not used to riding curves and all that. I talked to a guy the other day. We talked to 2 people here this week. One was a guy that never drove anything like that, and he actually pooped his pants halfway down because he ended up scaring the crap out of him. Had another person that his wife was riding, and she kept wanting to put her leg down for the switchbacks.
Well, Jeffrey Pope, he said,
your leg off.
Jeffrey Pope said he came out here by himself, but he said if I had my wife on the back and trying to do those turns, he said once he did Iron Mountain, he said, let's go home. He white knuckled it the whole time. He said he was just a nervous wreck. So it's I would, yes, it is. And you really have to concentrate when you're riding.
People, I think that's the biggest problem with Needles Highway and Iron Mountain is the rider of the bike that's handling the handlebars is trying to look around. You cannot do that on Iron Mountain. You will kill yourself or you'll kill us. That's your choice.
Somebody else.
Needles Highway is kind of the same thing. There's places where the road gets really super narrow. There's a big boulder in the road. You got to swerve around that. And if you're not paying attention, there could be a car coming and it's just going to take you out. So car and motorcycle don't work very good. You really got to be, those are the 2 worst roads if you have no experience. And going slow is not the answer because you're going to get a lot of people peed off because people are coming out here that know those routes, want to enjoy the road. We had a person before that was even going under the speed limit, which is 35, which is sad. Because most people are probably running at about 40 to 45. That's when they have turn on. I Oh, you're going to start back up.
I don't know if he is or not.
So what?
Ryder X said he heard that there was a couple bad accident yesterday involving 4 motorcycles and one resulted in a death.
I heard that too. But I think it's not in the Sturgis. I think it was out in the Black Hills someplace. When I seen it, I didn't know the town. So I'm not really sure where it's at. I didn't Google it after that. We kind of as we get it towards the end, we'll start finding out more. We have the option, which we haven't done yet. They're doing us. They actually put it on the Sturgis page. They put their statistics up of what they have, but it was. I couldn't get it big enough, so I didn't take a picture of it, and so I could.
The one on top of the Iron Horse. Did you see that?
What was on top of the Iron Horse?
Their big billboard. It had DWIs. It had traffic violations and something else. It had 3 numbers up there. Anyway, I was trying to film it and it never did come back up again. So Bill the Baker 420 says hi. TJ Dixon says, have you seen any presence of 1%ers? There are some out here.
I haven't really seen that many riding around. Now, we were at the Full Throttle yesterday, and there was a president that was in the bar. Now, somebody else said I thought there was no cuts and colors, which is true, but they don't have a doorman. So probably, unless somebody says something, they're probably not going to ask the guy to leave. A lot of the other bars, when it starts at night, like the Iron Horse and a lot of these other bars, Loud America, and they usually have somebody kind of standing by the door. And if you come in with your cut on or color, they're going to ask you to leave or take it off. And so this guy wasn't there. I didn't notice him. Actually, somebody else was standing there with us and said, "Oh, look, that guy came in." And he actually said, I don't know if he was talking about this year or not, but somebody had tried to go into a bar that had colors on, and the bouncer put his hands up onto that person.
And it was a president.
1%. And that's not always the best thing to touch them to start with.
Oh, I never wasn't told us that,
but like I say, I this year really haven't seen anybody. So which is kind of weird because we usually see, the HH running around or even Sons of Silence because they're here in town. And
the only thing I've seen a big presence of are the combat vets. I've seen a lot of those patches. So I know they come out sometimes in a big group and stuff. So I don't know.
I've seen the Christian motorcycle group really.
Yeah, not really.
So yeah, it's kind of weird. A lot of them are backing off because they figure it's going to be so crowded and so busy.
Billy Ray wanted to know if we saw Big Dog here. I haven't seen them anywhere. So they not to say that they're not here. We just haven't seen them. Military Biker says, howdy. Missy not being there this year. XM Biker said hi to him. Whoop says, Military Biker, no, was hoping to buy a scooter, Scooser beer. SCOUSER a beer. Scooser beer. Scooter, so maybe Scooter Tramp Scotty. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know who that is. Oh, I got a commercial. I gotta wait a second here before I click out and get the rest of the things. Alrighty, so Adventures of Jeff and Steffi. We're planning on going next year. There you go. That's cool. Did you guys decide if we're going to Hewlett yet? That was Deb and Mike.
I'm thinking about it. I'm more now considering it than what I was before.
Rick says, Ryder, yes, one fatality. Wow, that's crazy. Ray's Motor Life says, have fun, guys. We sure will. Neil's on. He says, I'm out of the hospital and his leg is healing. He's got 3 months of recovery and then PT for 3 months. So everybody pray for Neil. He's fine, but swelling and this pain's gone. That's the big thing right there, that the pain is gone. So Gerald S. is on. Hey, Bob and Tam. Are you guys still out here? Praying for Neil. Hang tough. They're all talking to each other. Rick says, you're my friend. Jinx, my friend. Yep. Adventures of Jeffy and Steffi says, are you all going to Pike's Booth and Barbecue this year? Yes, we will be there.
Getting there early.
Yep, we'll be there the week before it starts. Okay, I'm all cut up now.
So, I mean, this is a big rally. I don't know how much longer we're going to see the good crowd. We've seen a lot of bikes. I've seen dirt bikes. I think
a lot more dirt bikes this year than I've ever seen at the rally.
And so I don't, no other particular. Actually, trike-wise, it doesn't seem like it's as many trikes as I've seen in the past either. I don't know if it's because we're seeing more two-wheel bikes riding but we'll have to see how it goes. There's probably, like I say, Friday was the busiest downtown. We were at the Full Throttle each day. It's getting bigger. Each day they're getting a bigger crowd. I mean, even before the rally was going on, they already were having about 300 or 400 people out there already out there in the bar. More people are sitting on the first patio. And when you walk out the door, that's a free area. There's no charge for that. And sitting out there. Now, there has been people, which I don't know how long that'll last. There was people last night that probably got in just, I thought they'd have that section closed off. But the second patio, which is general admission, they had it open when we got there. And there was nobody doing tickets. So I don't know if they asked any of them to adios and leave without having a wristband. I don't know. We didn't really walk back through there and check it. We never got our passes yet. We need to write him. Tell him we were planning on coming out and still going to get a chance to meet Hank. And
Cooper says, we've only been to the 75th and now the 85th. We're thinking about going next year. How does the crowds on the off years compare?
It's smaller crowds.
Good night, Red Rex.
Typically, you're going to, you still have the first weekend is always the busiest weekend, no matter what. Maybe not so many bikes coming in the first weekend of pre-rally, because pre-rally starts the weekend before, because that's when the Black Hills Harley brings in most of half of their vendors or more show up during that time. We really haven't had a lot of time, because I think we're spending too much time at the Full Throttle. Not a lot of time to really look at a lot of the vendors. We've been up at Black Hills Harley, but we really didn't even walk around and check everybody out. Not really looking for anything. So that's probably one reason I'm not really looking. Nowadays, they've got like Black Hills Harley. You can look on their website, and they'll show you all the people, all the vendors they have. So it's getting a little better to find vendors and stuff like that where they're at. Some of the new ones, like I said, they got this gun fest going on. Boss Hoss is in a different place. They were over at the church on the other side of the highway last couple of years. And then they came over here. They were here a couple of years before that. They were at this same location. They like it on this side, because what's nice is if somebody wants a demo ride, you can go out here and just make a ride, and you're going out to that Whitewood, and it's just a really nice road. It's not very well traveled. It's where Legends is at. Suspension, where they do build all their stuff at, it's right down the road here too. So pretty exciting. But overall, it's not a bad rally. For us, it just starts getting hectic, because you're not, before the rallies, we pretty much have our own time schedule, because there's nothing that says you got to do something in a certain amount of time. Where now there is, because things happen. Like today, we didn't make it here. At 4 o'clock, the sheriff had a luncheon that I think anybody was invited.
I think it was 4 to 6. I don't know where it's at.
Oh, that's under that big tent over there. I've seen it the other day when I was here. It looked like a banquet table, but there was just a whole bunch of like tables and like a cafeteria style. But there was nobody selling food. There was just one vendor on the outside of it. So I was like, I didn't know what that was. And then when you said it, I figured, oh, that's it. That's the back of the
Yeah, I see it.
And so, I don't know. We thought we'd see the sheriff again. He's pretty cool. He's been on the channel, Pat, and pretty decent guy. But yeah, we've seen a couple bikes pulled over. We've seen a couple cars pulled over. We've seen a girl last night. She must have been drunk in the car, because we drove by, and then we drove by again, and she was still out there standing. She was on her phone. So I don't know if she was drunk. I don't know what the story is. Some of the police like this, if you got somebody, they'll come get your bike or your truck or car. If you get somebody there pretty quickly, they'll a lot of times they have a license, they'll let you take it instead of it being towed and impounded. But if you don't have anybody, you're kind of screwed. Take your stuff. You got to pay that bill.
I'll take a little of your tea since I got no water left. Rick says, for me, maybe 2 years next time I'll be crazy. I'm looking for a house to move from my house in Las Vegas, and either to Pahrump or by Bob and Tam. I was thinking about maybe coming out to Bullhead City or Pahrump. So we'll see.
Home.
Yeah. Desert Cat says hi from Tucson, Arizona. Hey there, Desert Cat. Tanya 30 says last time I was in Sturgis was at the rally in 1995 and 98, and I haven't been since then.
He's not left, huh?
Who?
Michael.
He said he would call us tomorrow. Monzon, hey guys, great time. We fly out today of Iceland and Europe, and we'll be heading to Sturgis next year. See you then. Okay, Mon and Isabel, they travel a lot too. So they get around, and they wanted to travel. They wanted to do that road that Forrest Gump did. So I don't know if they
Utah or something.
Utah, I think it's New Mexico. I think it's New Mexico.
I'd say it's the longest road you can see, the longest distance. But I think we've been on some roads like in New Mexico, that one you come down that hill where the windstorm is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any longer than that.
I don't
know. I mean, we're on a lot of roads like that traveling. And to me, it looks like they're like 10 miles long. And I don't know if that's actually proven that that's the longest stretch of a straight road.
She's coming next year, Neil. She's not here this year. Neil was asking about Kenny's on from Australia. And Ori Dawn, keep it going. ONYYONYUDOM. Keep it going. So Kenny's on. How about that? I guess that's everybody. I'm all caught up again.
There you go. So yeah, it's like I say, it's a good rally. Actually, the weather's a little cooler. Most days we're not even getting into the 80s, and I don't know what temperature is now. You have to look at your phone and see what the temperature is. But I mean, there's been a cool breeze. Next few days are not showing any rain. We had a really big dark cloud come over us a while ago, but once again on the radar it was showing no rain and no 15% chance, and it just blew on by. So it got a little bit of cloudiness, a little bit of cooler wind, and then now it's the wind's been blowing these last couple of days more than it normally does. So sometimes out on the highway it gets kind of windy. So it's 78 degrees right now. So here we're pretty much around the hottest time of the day, 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it says the high is 78 and the low is 63.
Now it says 79.
Oh, it says it feels like 81. So there must be a little bit of humidity in the air.
Yep, we've been sweating a little bit.
I didn't use the sunscreen yesterday, and I got a redneck. I'm a redneck.
So that's kind of what's going on. It is what it is. And that's like when people say, oh, the rally's not like it used to be. The rally is exactly whatever you want to make it to be. If you want to be somebody that stays out in the country and ride all the back hills and all that kind of stuff, never come into Sturgis, then that's fine. People say it's commercialized. It's commercialized, but the whole world is commercialized. So if that's the case, lock yourself in your house and never come out. But if
you can get on the back roads and ride, and you don't see any of that.
And there's a lot of little small towns. You can have lunch or dinner. You can buy your own food. You know, there's places we show you that you can camp for free. You know, there's an inexpensive gentleman right here that left. He found a cabin that he's been renting for years that they only charge $75 per person. And if he comes by himself, it's still only $75. But that's what he said. To get his bike up to the front door, he had to borrow their lawnmower to cut him a trail. There's no driveway to go to it. But for $75, you ain't going wrong. Of course, he's not going to tell you because it's the only one that she's got. But if you spend a little time out here looking around, there is some good opportunities to buy something, you know, to rent something. I've thought about that before, and I think I told Neil that you ought to find a place out here where you could buy you a used trailer. You know, they got some out here that got hail damage. You could probably pick one up for $4,000 or $5,000, a decent trailer. You know, you have to have. You know, every winter you'd have to have the lines blown out on it. But I mean, you could probably find somebody out here in the hills that might charge you slim to nothing to park it on the side of their barn at each year. And then you just got to find somebody with a truck to drag it to your campsite where you're going to. And you could save a lot of money. So there's ways of getting around some of this. Some of these campgrounds I see out here going out to Rapid City have trailers sitting on the lots. I think they sit there all year long. Because they're not that busy. We get here, most of these campgrounds are not very busy before the rally. And some of these places give some really good deals before rally. Most of them are $50 or less for full hookups before the rally. Other than Rapid City, get around
Reptile Gardens and all that over there. Some of those are pretty
one
pricey.
of them looked at it and wanted like $195 for a full hookup. It's like, geez, I'd buy a hotel room before I spend that kind of money. Let me write you a big one.
Yeah, well, I got a couple of them too. There was my right. XM Biker says great reporting, Bob and Tam. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. There you go. Listen to XM Biker. He knows what he's talking about. Gerald S says, I believe the weather change has given us all the sniffles. Yes, I've got this cough that won't go away again.
I think it all started with me. I had it for about a day or so. And I think because we ended up coming down Deadwood in that fog, I didn't have a jacket on. Didn't bring a jacket. And temperature dropped probably 20 or 30 degrees. And I think that's what started mine. I never got an infection or anything. I'm still coughing a little bit, but it's better than was. She's had hers for 2 or 3 days, so it's lasted a little longer than what mine did.
Yeah. Tanya says, I know I haven't been there and need to get away and get there. My dad stopped taking me there after for a long time since we don't have the money to go anyway. So Whoop says that's the one that's coming from South Africa? I don't know. Or Australia. I don't remember which one now. Staying in Deadwood, not riding, sadly, but relying on the bus, which we hear is a really good. Looking forward to some good live music and to get some tickets for Marilyn Manson? Is it booked?
You should buy that now when you can, because at the gate they're going to charge you more money. So if you're coming for sure, you want tickets, buy them as soon as you get here. Or, I mean, right now. Go online, buy them, because that night they're going to charge you probably $20 or $30 more to get in. If every place has free music, like in town here, if you come downtown Sturgis, the Knuckles got music, the Iron Horse has concerts going on, Loud Americans got concerts going on. So there's a variety of music that they're going to be playing.
And wants to see Insane Clown Posse. That's
right. Yeah, it's full throttle. Buy that now. You can buy the general admission. Actually, a really great.
Oh, I guess he did. He says got some tickets booked for Marilyn Manson and Insane Clown Posse.
So if you already got that, you're pretty set. But make sure you allow you enough time on the bus, because sometimes the bus makes several stops. You might want to look online, because their online one's kind of old, but there is some out there on social media that's the current ones. So you can see, because like they're coming from Deadwood, let's say they got 5 stops. That could be an hour by the time you get there. Could be even longer with traffic. I don't know where the bus is. I don't really see them coming down Junction or Lazelle.
No, they don't. They right there where the Kathmandu bus is.
I know, but how are they getting out to the Full Throttle and the Buffalo Chip?
They probably turn down that deli and go all the way down Sherman.
I don't know.
That's what I would think. I don't think they would.
Because I've seen them going down to 79, but I've not. So I don't know if maybe they went out and took the Fort Meade Way and come in the back way, so they're not on the main drags. I don't know. I don't really see them weaving through town, because if they came out of where the buses are at, you would think they'd have to come down Junction or Lazelle. Well, I haven't seen one yet.
Well, I've seen them on the street where either the dealership is or the street up one. So I think they go down. They turn that very first light when you first get into town, that Nelly Street.
I just wouldn't think they'd allow them to ride through town.
I think that I've seen them. So
because when they take us, they're taking us the back way. We're going past the racetrack and the ball fields. That's how they brought our bus in. So you're not really getting anywhere on Lazelle or Junction. Then they go back the same way. So that's why I said I don't know if maybe that's what they're doing, is get back on the highway and then go out to Fort Meade Way and come down. I don't know. Like I say, I just haven't seen any in town. I've seen them everywhere else, but I haven't seen them in town.
I think that's because they're on the back roads.
You have to ask the driver.
So yeah, the bus can be pretty fun.
You get crazy too.
Yep. So I don't know.
And it's first come, first serve. Once the bus full, it's full. You got to wait for the next one in an hour or whatever it comes the next time around. Some of them have standing room. I don't know if the buses. It's been a while. We haven't rode the bus probably in 8 or 9 years.
It's been a while. I'm going to try to ride it again, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Seen a video this morning on snow in the hills.
There's no snow here. People are just putting old videos up. There's no snow in
That's what Neil
nowhere
said.
in South Dakota. Most of these people put old videos up and they try to show you, look what's happening now. And I've seen them on the internet. It's not happening. There's a lot of AI videos out here too. I know Neil's sent me quite a few videos that aren't even real videos. They're made by AI, to where when you hear that voice and you start seeing, it's generic. Everything's generic. I can write any script I want, saying anything I want. YouTube will print it. I could say that Harley Davidson is going to start making cars. They're going to quit making motorcycles. They're going to make cars that are electric. And I can make a whole video on that. AI will give me all the pictures I want of it, and you'll all buy it, because you're doing it now on this AI. And it's not right, but you really got to look at the videos that are coming out, because really, if you don't see somebody like us talking, the good chances are, but you even have to watch that. Some of the AI videos are really good. They say you can even take our videos, we could put it in the AI, and it would take us and put it in there, use our voices and everything, but it'd be more perfect. Everything would be like it's supposed to. There's not any place where we mess up saying something or something like that. So that's out there, and they're already doing it to movie stars and stuff. There's pictures that are put out that's, this guy's saying that, John Wayne, when she's passed away, he's recommending this and this and this. And you buy it and find out, well, John Wayne died 10 years ago. And how can you recommend it?
I'm telling you, yeah. So 747 Traveler says, hey guys, always As always, you've done a fantastic job giving us updates on Sturgis. Your time and effort is appreciated. Well, thank you, Traveling 747 Traveler.
And remember, we do rallies. You know, this year we've done Daytona, Leesburg, Panama City, Myrtle Beach. After this, we've got Ocean City. We've got Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. And then we end up at Biketoberfest. And that's one of our sponsors. We've got to do a video on that before we leave. And but, you know, check all those out. And we give information for all of those. You know, Daytona, we don't get there as early as we used to. But we do get there about a week early and take you around, show you some of the stuff that's going on, things like that. This is a big year. I've never seen, all the years we've come to Sturgis, I've never seen so much stuff going on. To me, they've had some, even though the bands might be weak at some of the bigger venues, overall, they've got some really great entertainment this year. You know, the museum, Monday, they got all the stuff. You know, Karen and Bill Davidson, they're going to be there signing autographs and stuff. And there's a whole lot of people. There's a lot of important people that you may not get to see in an everyday life are going to be here this next week. So that's kind of special. If you want to meet different people, get some signed autographs, get pictures with them. It's just, we haven't anything close to this since the 75th. The 80th was because of the pandemic, really didn't have much craziness. It was like any other year, but this 85th, I'd probably say this is probably the last big rally we're going to see in Sturgis, to have this many vendors, have this many people showing up, and everything that's going on. Because no matter what anybody says, rallies are slowing down. We have a whole lot less people here at all the rallies this year. The numbers have been down. No matter what anybody tells you, they're down. Because we see here, there's still campsites everywhere. Even in Pappy Hoyle, we still got a site next to us. Nobody's ever showed up. There's 4 or 5 in our campground. Full Throttle has still got some over at Pappy Hoyle. We thought they'd sell out. They didn't completely sell out yet. Buffalo Chip's got a lot of, Buffalo Chip still got probably 100, 200 spots still left if you're looking for something. So they're still, so it's not completely sold out. Somebody just told me they just booked a hotel room yesterday over in Rapid City. So there's stuff still available.
So Glenn says, PSA, bus stripper poles are not rated for full-grown dancers.
Where's that at?
At the buses, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mon, and I hope to see you both next year. Okay, 747 Traveler. Oh, that must be Isabel then.
And we're planning on next year. We've already got a few things. So we're not going to do Rapid City. Ended up being the Sturgis RV park here in town has invited us for the 2 or 3 weeks that we normally would spend in Rapid City. We're going to stay there for probably like the first couple weeks of June. We'll be there. We'll still be in Sturgis here before the 4th. We haven't really talked to Kathmandu yet.
He dropped his glasses.
Yeah. I'm thinking they're probably going to have us back because just like today, we just talked to somebody today who just called there to get a tent spot. So they've got a lot of people that came in from us this year. A lot of people. We haven't been able to spend a lot of time in the bar. We'll be a little bit more later this week. Because after this, we really don't have a concert to see until Saturday. She wants to see Pam Tillis. Yeah. So other than that, we don't really have anything particular. It's a couple, we always want to see Hairball over at the Knuckle. They've got another tribute band like that plays a bunch of different hits. If we had time, we'd like to see that. But see, so much stuff, I have to get ahead on the videos or have more time in the morning that I can finish it up.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really one, we're not getting bed the last 2 nights till about midnight anyway.
Yeah.
And so.
And if we go to the Pink concert tonight,
It'll be late.
We'll be late again. And then tomorrow we have to be at the museum at 8 o'clock in the morning or 9.
For what?
That's when they give the pearls.
That wouldn't be the end of the world.
You're not going to see Woody give Gloria the award?
I'm not even sure we're going to get in the door.
I don't know. So, is that how they make those talking baby videos? Yeah. You put in, like, I guess I've seen one for Friends, and they put, like, a picture of Jennifer Aniston, and then, like, Matt Perry, who was Chandler, and then you put baby or 2-year-old, and then you tell them what you want them to say back and forth, and then
or you take a video, like we take a video we've already done, a little clip, and put that in there. I looked at it because somebody said it would be great if we did one like that. I looked at it, and it's a lot of things I got to download and do stuff like that. And I just don't really have the time to do it. If it got to the point this winter, maybe I could do something like it, because it's probably going to take me a day or so just to figure out how to do it, and then make it, and then post it. So maybe not. Don't know.
So anyway, yes, that's how they do it. And do we do Arizona Bike Week? We did last week. I guess we were going to do it next year.
I'm looking at the date. Probably. We need to call the lady. She wanted us to call her to the summer. We're already getting to the end of summer.
Yeah.
And she was going to give us conference plates at the Westworld. Yeah. Which would be better because we'd be right there. Where we were at before is a little bit of a ride.
Copper DWE 23 says, we're just watching videos about Arizona Bike Week earlier today, and we're thinking about doing that next year. There you go. Penn State 100, which is Terry, said, I heard the first model of the Harley Davidson car is a knucklehead. Maybe. Our old hotel had plenty of rooms. Oh, Gerald asked where Gerald and Tammy are staying. He says their hotel had plenty of rooms left. Another commercial. If you guys didn't get one, I got one. All right.
Usually everybody gets it about the same time.
So Janice says, hi, Bob and Tam. There's Janice. She's on. And Rick says, Billy Ray did Arizona Bike Week this last year. Yep. Brian Halen says, hi from the chip. Hey, Brian. Kent Copeland's on. Hi, I still watch you guys. You've been busy traveling to Florida each week, and pray for my mom. She's having a lot of health problems. Okay, Kenneth. We'll keep her in
a big
prayer.
old trip. Where'd he go overseas? Somewhere.
I want to say Brazil.
Yeah, maybe it was. I don't know where he said he was. I remember seeing his.
I remember seeing the post too. Hey, Tam, if you guys are at the chip, I asked Beth if she could pick me up a free package of patches from the info booth. Can you guys pick them up possibly? Thank you.
I didn't see no patches there. I was up there this morning and filmed it.
And information booth?
Yeah. I didn't see no patches. I seen a couple stickers they were giving away. You could spin a wheel, and one girl won a tube of toothpaste, and the other guy won a cassette of cards. So I don't think there's any patches there. I didn't see any.
Ask if they're going to go next year. More than likely, probably so. If we're going to go next year to the Arizona Bike Week. Almost 100 acres. It was fun the first time. Would you come the first week or the last weekend?
What?
The rally.
Arizona Bike Week or here?
If this was, I think, Sturgis.
If I was coming here, I would come the first weekend. Last weekend is more locals. They don't really have very good bands. It's a lot of cars are coming more in the last weekend. Daytona's about the only one that doesn't really make a difference on what weekend you come in. Myrtle Beach, about the same. Doesn't really matter what weekend you come in from Myrtle Beach either. But here, the first weekend is always the bigger weekend. But here, they've been trying to get more, like the Buffalo Chips tried to do. They tried to get more bigger concerts in the middle of the week because they're trying to get you to stay longer. Because typically here, it's like if you go to Glencoe, by Tuesday, half the people's gone. They're done partying and they want to go home. And so a lot of campgrounds, you slowly, as the week, like we did, we used to come Thursday and leave Thursday. So we had never experienced Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, or Sunday here. And then now, since we've been here, if I didn't have a channel, I would be gone on Thursday. It's really not worth the weekend here. There isn't really anything special going on. It's got a time that we can catch up on anything we need to cover. We can pick up at that time. But other than that, there really isn't anything that we want to see or do.
So Leo and Iniki from Netherlands, they say hi from the Netherlands. Hi, how are you guys? We got a lot of
people from other countries.
Yeah, how about that?
There's been a lot here too.
Yeah, there's been a lot. Yeah, we met the people from Ireland that had reached out to us, and the people from Australia that had reached out to us, and the people from Canada. So yeah, we got to see all those people. Kenneth says he went to Spain and Italy and France. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking it was Brazil for some reason. I don't know. Jerry Moore, what's up, guys? Hope you are still having fun. Oklahoma here. Wish we were there. I wish you were here too. Lots of fun. You need anything? My name is in the. You need to give them my name. It's in a bag in the back, and they'll give it to you. Neil says. I don't know. We'll have to look and see if we go back out there. And And they're also saying hi to each other. So we're doing good, Jerry. Hope you're doing good too.
So pretty exciting.
Hey, how you doing?
Guy that owns a bunch of bus halls.
Yes, he does. We see him every year pretty much.
And he likes to buy a lot of the new models. So, but yeah, it's overall, this is probably, even though we've had a little bit of rain, I mean, it's not enough to where it was like 2023, where it was a mudslide. We really haven't had a day yet. Well, Thursday before the rally rained about half the day, but I mean, we really haven't had a day that was, since the rally started, that's been washed out. We had one day before the rally that rained pretty much all day because we were planning on doing something, and it didn't work out. Because so we didn't get to go back and do the 385. I was planning on Thursday doing that. There wasn't supposed to be any rain. It ended up raining in the morning.
It was supposed to rain Tuesday, Wednesday. Didn't rain either one of those days. And then Thursday, we had plans to do stuff. And then it rained all day Thursday. Because that was the days, whenever it rained.
Wednesday, we went and got chicken. And Boss Hoss and a couple other people we went on really didn't want to ride on the rock roads. So we thought, yeah, we'll just come out Thursday morning. We'll go down and do the Sugar Shack or someplace and have lunch, and then ride on down to 385 and get that. But everybody that's ridden it that we talked to says it's really good. A lot of it they've asphalted. That when we had rode on it before, we'll probably get down there before after the rally's over because we probably want to get chicken. We might even do that on Thursday or Friday this week. Maybe go down and then get some chicken. We haven't had any chicken since the first time we went down, so we've only had chicken twice.
Well, don't do that, Tanya. Tanya says, nothing's wrong with me. I've been working outside of my yard. Came back in to cool down because I almost had a heat stroke. Don't do that. Gotta pace yourself. Thanks if you get that way. Okay, Neil. Mike Fisher says, living in Mississippi, working on my Navy ship in San Diego. Wish I was there to enjoy. Stay safe. Shout out to Mobile Hog Chapter at Sturgis. There you go. Billy Ray says I was there in 2023 and it rained a lot. It's been a lot.
The nice thing about it was after 3 days of rain, it was like this. It was like in the 70s, low 80s. It was the rest of the week was perfect. Yeah. So if you'd have stayed from Tuesday on, it was just the perfect rally.
Yeah.
And a lot of people left. It wasn't so crowded, and you just gotta hunker down. Now, if you're in a tent, you were kind of screwed. But if you were in a trailer or something, there was no reason you had to leave.
Yeah.
They had some issues at the Buffalo Chip that we heard. I seen on Facebook that they were limiting how many trailers could come down the hill at one time. Well, the problem is, like the trailer that flipped over in 2023 at the Buffalo Chip ended up being somebody that was very inexperienced driving pulling a trailer, and got down there, jackknifed it in the mud, and then ended up just flipping it. So it was more driver error than actually had anything to do with the chip. First of all, nobody has any control over the mud that you're going to have. And everybody's got mud, no matter where you're at. Unless you're at Elk Ridge. I don't know if any of their roads have any...
probably not.
They maybe all be concrete. But that's probably the only place that didn't. And Kathmandu doesn't have much, but I mean, we had a little bit up on the back by where the boondocking is. There was a little bit there. Probably places where the water sits. But especially the Buffalo Chip, it's a rolling meadows. So you've got it on that back 40, the progressive back there. That's a hill. So all that water's running down that hill to the bottom. Over at Blue Sky, it's like a swimming pool. So all the water, that's where most of that mud was at. Well, we had the Adventure Bike Week 2 weeks before, and it rained that day. It rained 2 days there. And so when they pulled their trailers all out, they drug ruts and mud in the fields. So there's not much you can do about that. They're never going to pave the camp. Those hills, they're never going to pave it because it's a pasture the rest of the year. And so you still have the same thing. We heard Steel Pony had some issues up there. They put in some new spots and people got stuck up there. Hog Heaven over here, we heard some issues there. Pappy Hoyle had some mud up there in their area. So that's why I said everybody has something. Because when you have 4 inches of rain in a couple of days, that water is going to sit someplace. And you go through a dip spot, and heck, over at Full Throttle yesterday, even in the asphalt, there was an area where the water had set.
Yeah.
Wasn't deep.
Just a little puddle.
But I mean, it was where you could have parked 4 or 5 more bikes there, which it would have been worse than the worst. I would have parked there. The water wasn't that deep.
No. Just have to watch getting off, getting your feet wet.
Yep.
All right. So they're kind of talking amongst themselves there.
So we are at Boss Hoss, and they're over here at the Chevrolet dealer, which is called Liberty.
Liberty Lot.
They got a gun fest going on, so that's kind of cool. I talked to one guy about ammo. Actually, they got really good deals. It's better than what I can get in Arizona, and then they'll ship it to your house if you don't. If you're riding your bike, you don't want to carry all that ammo, and they'll ship it for free. So they're actually out of Arizona. The one place I talked to, and they've got a discount card and everything that comes with it. And so if you order online, they give you 15% off. If you order in there, they already got a sale price on it here. A lot of people selling the T-shirts for Smith & Wesson's here, and but this is through the gun store that's in Sturgis Guns. They're putting this on, and they got some of the manufacturers to come out and talk to them and look at guns. If you don't live here, you can buy ammo, not an issue. You buy a gun, you have to go back. You'll have to ship it to a gun store in your area. So you check with your gun store ahead of time, see if they're going to charge you anything for doing it. But they have to transfer the paperwork to you. So they transfer it to the gun shop, and then the gun shop transfers it to you. Make sure you don't have a record, or no reason you can't get a gun, because if it not ends up being, you may not get your money back. If they pay for it here, and then you can pick it up at your place. Because that happened 1 year before, that somebody here was used, and it was an old 80-year-old guy bought a gun, and he had a P.O. box. Well, it ended up being, it wasn't a physical address. So when he tried to pick up the gun, they said, we can't give it to you. We have to return it back to where it came from because you're not a resident here. Yeah, I got this P.O. box. Well, he just went down and bought it at the post office. Well, we got a place out here in, what's the town's that out there?
Selden.
Yeah. And they've got a mailbox you can put your name in, but you can't buy a gun that way because you don't have a physical address.
Because I think it asked you on the application, and he actually ended up getting a felony for that.
Well, I don't think they ended up arrested him, but he did get in trouble and talked to, because they asked if this is a residence.
Is this your permanent address that you're living at? I think is what the question is. And he wrote yes. And it wasn't. It's a P.O. box.
You can't live in a mailbox. Mailbox, little cream.
A little bit. Guess we could get a big enough one. Janice says it's 85 and breezy. They're in North Carolina. Okay, but and gotta hop. Rubber down. Faith up. Says XM Biker. Well, see you soon. Are you going to Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue this year? Don't know if he's going or not. He went 2 years ago, I guess. Yeah. Saw him down there.
We could have done Lake of the Ozarks this year because it ends up falling in between, but we don't have any place to stay. I don't really. What? Close?
In Lake of the Ozarks.
We don't have a bike to ride. Because I don't think any of our vendors are there. So we don't really even have a sponsorship reason to go. So that's the way it is. And
hey guys, long time no see. That was Jeffrey Pope.
Yep.
And
it's like you're right here in town, and we haven't even seen you. What kind of subscriber are you?
Glenn says, any issues with the fluffy cows? Not that I've heard of.
We were petting one a while ago.
Yeah, we were. and that one will be on the video coming up.
Well, he's already been on videos.
Yeah.
He was on the other day. It's the one that the guy from Tucson's here, and he actually is doing a class. It's only like a 5 or 10 minute class about how not to get killed by bison/buffalo.
That sounds nuts, Steele. Sorry. They're probably going to be able to stay up late tonight either. He says it's the perfect day in Alaska, 67 and sunny and gorgeous. XM Biker says he's thinking about Lake of the Ozarks.
And we've done it before. We've done it. Did we just do it once? We do it twice.
Like just once.
And it's okay, but it's like for being in the Ozarks, there really isn't that great of a ride. The big ride's like right around the lake or something like that, and it was like, but like going down the Bikes to barbecue, you're more in the Ozarks, and there's some great roads down there, right? We're going to find a whole bunch of them this year since we're getting there early. Hopefully, it won't be raining. That we're going to be getting there Friday a week before, and hopefully that weekend we'll be able to check all those out.
Bikes are all rolling around.
Yep. It's like being on Main Street.
Yep, almost.
And probably later in the week, we'll probably do another live from Main Street. I may end up doing like 2 videos. We might have our regular video comes out at 5, our time here. And then maybe during the afternoon or something, earlier noon or 1 o'clock, maybe we'll do something, a couple on Main Street. When it starts quieting down a little bit to where we can find a place to sit. Because right now it is very crowded downtown.
And when they get those good seats right up front, they don't want to give them up. So.
And we can't go across the street because at One Eye Jack's, they got the
Blare
stereo
the
up too loud. So we don't want to copyright claim.
Yep. It was 65 at the wedding in the mountains of Virginia, Neil.
And one of our subscribers got married out here last week.
Yep.
They were in the video yesterday, I think.
And Chip says, "Hey Neil, hope you're doing well. Where are you guys streaming from?" We're at Boss House at the Liberty parking lot in Sturgis on Lazelle and Whitewood, the frontage road. Good luck.
That's all right.
Is there one over there?
I've seen that.
If you go in the tent, they have a water. Get me a water, please. So he's gonna go. So it's just us. So anyway, there are 118 people on, and we've been on an hour and 45 minutes. So it's been a great rally so far, and we are, like I was telling Neil, at the Boss House tent on the Liberty Park, which is at the Liberty dealer here in Sturgis. If you go out Lazelle from Sturgis, like you're going out to Deadwood, it's the Whitewood frontage road exit. The frontage road goes to Whitewood. That follows the 90. So that's kind of a cool road. And they like it here because then when they do test drives with their Boss Hosses, they just send them right down that road. And it's not very traveled, and it's just a nice road to drive down. It's pretty straight, so don't get any curvies with them, but you get to at least ride the bike down the roads. I thought you would be at Full Throttle tonight for the show. That's where we head after this. So we've been bouncing all over the place today. We were at the Flying Pistons breakfast this morning. That was at the Buffalo Chip. And then Bob had won some stuff on the auction. So the bike was full. So we had to take all that back over to the to the trailer. And then we went, where did we go after that? Did we go downtown? Guess we must have went downtown. And then we met one of our subscribers, Jeffrey Pope, and Jim, and Ted, and 2 other their companions, and ate lunch at the Iron Horse. And then our friend Michael from California, he showed up, and we sat with him for a little bit. And then it was time, to start the live, and we were trying to think where we could do it. So we called up Boss Hoss and said, "How's your internet? And can we do a live there?" And they said, "Come on over. We'll give you our password, and you guys can do a live from here." So that's why we're not on Main Street. Main Street was just way too crowded. Probably would have never gotten a table. So we decided to come over here and do this. It was much quieter, much nicer. We kind of wanted to get some of the barbecue, show a little bit of that, but I think it's over at 6 too, and that's about what time we're going to stop. So that'll probably be all over with by the time we get done with the video. So like Bob said, there's also a gun show going on here. So they got a lot of good deals going on for the ammo, and you can buy a gun if you want, but you got to have a gun card, and they'll have it shipped to a gun store in your area. That's what they can do. So there's nobody else? Nobody's got any questions? Since Bob's not here, you can ask anything you want. But so if anybody's out here, I hope you're being safe riding out there in the hills. And if you're not, be safe at home because there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, there's a gun show out here this year, Glenn. So it's at this Liberty lot. It's put on by the Sturgis Guns, which is in town. And they have a couple of gun dealerships here. And then they'll also, Smith & Wesson was supposed to come. Was it Smith & Wesson that didn't come? They just have a t-shirt shop?
So Smith & Wesson has their official shirts here,
Okay.
commemorating like the rally and everything, but their guns are not here.
Okay.
Sour's here with guns, great prices.
Okay. So yeah, Smith & Wesson just sent the t-shirt shop. So, but there's a couple other gun dealerships here that have all their guns and ammo and all that good stuff. So there are guns here to be bought. Yep, and ammo. And Chip, I've been taking my good lung pills that you told me to take. I had some left, and I dug through the box of pills, and I found them. So I'm taking those, but I still have this cough. Chip says, I know Glenn, it's a great in South Dakota, and the silencer booth at Black Hills Harley. Yeah, silencer booth is in front of, also in front of One Eye Jack's, and out at the Buffalo at Full Throttle. So they've got at least 3 locations. They might have more, but that's kind of a cool thing too. Got his money last year. So it looks like they're getting ready to close up here too. So we're going to have to get off here as soon as Bob gets back. So I can do my whole little spiel now. And then that way, when he gets back, we can just say goodbye. So thanks for hanging out with us. We love all you guys. I'm glad you're here with us all the time. And hope you get some good information that we get you. Don't forget to support our sponsors. They're the ones that get us out here to get you this great information. And don't forget to tell them Bob and Sam sent you if you go. And don't forget to subscribe. Tell everybody you know so we can kind of try to grow a little bit more. And share us with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications. And I guess I'll say we'll see you on the next video when Bob gets back. So, Jeff's on. What does Jeff say? You said you were coming to Ocean City, Del Mar, Bike Week this year. When and where will you be? We stay in a condo right next to the convention center. Emory HVAC puts us up there. And he also gets us a bike to use. So that's where we'll be. I don't know. I don't have any specific dates and times of different places where we'll be at. But if you send us, let me see if I can find it here without screwing everything up. This comments on banners. That's what I want. Banners. And there. This email address. If you want to, who was that, Jeff? Send us your contact information, and I'll send you back our phone. Send us your phone number, and I'll send you our phone number. And then we can let you know when tell them you're going to be at Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. Tell me in the email. And then I'll put that on there. And then reach out to us. We should get there probably, I think it starts on Wednesday. So I think we fly in Tuesday, Wednesday, or we fly in Monday, get there Tuesday. We fly in Tuesday, get there Wednesday. Something like that. So anyway, they're closing up. Everybody's leaving. So I said all my goodbyes.
All righty. So wrap it up.
We're done?
I guess. Adios, muchachos. See y'all later.
So we'll
For
see.
live during the week. Probably, like I say, we'll try to do something during the week. So check that out. Look for a video tomorrow. That'll probably have 2 days on it. It'll probably have Saturday and Sunday on those videos. So check that one out. And with that, we're going to leave you right here.
All righty. I did my spiel.
There you
So
go.
we'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching. Love y'all.